Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I will be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum, you must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to it, to be part of the live stream and to attend the after party. Now, here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, momentarily, I will post the link with today's date, which will allow you to come into the Zoom meeting with us, and you just remain there for the after party. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar/S as in smart, M as in men, F as in flying. So smart men flying. Now, you must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address, or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in, just enjoy watching this on YouTube, fantastic, wonderful. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box. I'll do my best to make your comments a part of the show. Understand, sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comment. Now, if you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts or the many building videos that Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please give us a thumbs up, give us a like, please subscribe. And when you subscribe, hit the notification bell and select all notifications so that whenever myself or Sparky comes on, you will know. And share the videos and comment. The comments help also the analytics of the channel. So now, I'm not in Sparky's. This is Sparky's YouTube channel called Stunthangar. I'm not in here except for Monday and Friday evening. So if you have any comments about the show, please, you can comment on them at my channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. All the letters are there, Flying Control Line Stunt. You should be able to find it on YouTube. And post a comment there on the channel. Choose the one that's the 2019 AMA US National Championships. Is a video of me flying Sparky's Junar, as a matter of fact. And so leave a comment in there. I'll be notified and I'll be able to get back to you. Okay, now please also consider joining Sparky's YouTube channel membership, which starts at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. I mean, your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthangar, and with your memberships, you'll get special badges I'll see in the YouTube chat box and unlimited replay of member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. You can also use the super chat, which is located at the bottom of the chat box, like a big dollar sign. And I want to let you know, I believe you have to have a YouTube account to be able to do that. As far as the chat, you need to have a YouTube channel or account. And then also to make donations in the super chat, that only can occur during the live stream. That's why earlier I said to make a note of Monday and Friday, 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come into the show, make your donation, please. And then if it's not a convenient time for you to watch the whole show, come back and watch the replay like most people do. Anyways, we have a lot of replays, and I want to thank you for that. I also want you to consider keeping your conversations family room friendly. Please do not use words or do things you wouldn't do or say around your children or grandchildren. And with that, one last thing is I want to thank you for your support. I want to thank you for your future, your past, your present support. You are making it happen. Thank you very much. And without any further ado, I'm going to post now the link in at stunthangar.com, the forum, and that's posted right now. Okay, so that's done. So hopefully I'll have some friends come in and hopefully some new people I haven't met yet. It's always wonderful when people come in and get a chance to meet new people and see where they're at and where their interests are. And let me check on the, I'm gonna look at the YouTube, what I call the control panel. I can see what's going on there. Okay, the video is up, it's live. And I see Jack Snavely's already there. He says, hello all, and around the world, just saying hi. Thank you very much, Jack Snavely. And Jeff Riley says, hello, Stunthanger. Hello, Jeff. And then Todd Stinson says, hi, everyone. Well, so we have 3 people in the chat box. We have 10 concurrent viewers, 6 likes. Thank you very much for that. Also consider the chat revenue, where you can donate at the big $sign, and also our memberships. Don't forget about that. And so let me see what's going on with the guests. I believe everything is up and running. Fantastic. All right. So anyways, I went flying today. Went flying what I call my red Strega. If you ever hear about that, there is a red Strega video. It's not called red Strega, but there's a video of the Strega when I first completed it and I was ready to compete. There's a little video, kind of a show and tell of it. You can take a look at that at my website, my YouTube channel. It's called Flying Control Line Stunt, but it's an old girl. It's about 5 or 6 years, has like 530 flights on it. It's an old girl. It's so I'm kind of dusting her off and bringing her back to a competitive form. And today was a pretty good day. Looks like John Miller's coming in, and let's wait for John to come on in. Hey, John, how you doing? You got your mic muted.
Doing good, and you?
I'm doing well, John. I've been thinking about you because I missed you. I know the last show you wasn't on, and I thought about calling you last night, but I didn't want to. It was like 10:15, 10:30. I didn't know if you'd be awake.
Oh, I was awake till 1 or 2 o'clock.
Okay. I just thought, if you wasn't feeling good, I thought, well, I probably better call a little bit earlier. So I'm glad to see you. And Mike, hey, how's it going, Mike? I saw your message, and I believe I have forwarded your address already to Phil already. Mike, say something. I can't hear you.
It's still not blowing up.
No, I hear you now. I hear you now. All right, good. So how you doing, Mike?
I'm hanging in there. How are you guys doing?
Doing well. Doing well. I was just after the monologue, I started talking about my outing today. Took out my Strega, which I have 2 Stregas, and one is red, one's white. So I took out the red Strega with the Stalker 81 today, and it's coming along. It's still not where I hope it to be by this next weekend. Next weekend, I'm going to be in a contest with other people. Hopefully, we have a good turnout at the. It's called the Joust. It's hosted by the Knights of the Round Circle.
Oh, okay.
LA County. So it's about a 2-hour drive for me, but I'm really excited. I can't wait. And I was flying the Red Strega. I'm planning to compete with that plane on Sunday. And right now, John, you might be interested in this, John. I found that it's working pretty good with a Zor 14x8 prop.
14.8, huh?
14.8. No nitro, just synthetic oil, probably around 18% oil. Today, I was flying on kind of short lines today, like 60-foot lines, eyelet to eyelet. So the RPMs, to get this, 6,300 RPMs.
I love
What's
it.
your lap time?
4.8 and 4.7. I think 4.7 upright and 4.8 inverted.
just a touch you need to, but I'd go out to 65-foot lines.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out. I don't know where I'm gonna end up at, but I'm gonna try it little by little by little because the plane's heavy, so I don't want it when I get over the head, the plane to fall onto me. I want to see what I can withstand, what the plane can withstand. But
Go up to 65. It's easier to shorten them than to lengthen them.
yeah, well, I have all kinds of lines, so I'll be able to step it up. I mean,
Okay.
and I make my own lines, and I know there's some people else who make their own lines, but my lines they're spot on, they're exact. I can go from one line to another, don't change the handle, and so I can. It's kind of a tuning. It's a trimming thing for me. I can adjust my. You got your badass on. Look at you.
That's John, for the little. That's for the little Ellie.
John, you're such a badass.
It's a 2814. I think I got too big of a
motor.
No, not the motor. Yes. Yeah, I bought the Badass Rebel series, but I got a 45 amp. I ordered a 35, but they sent me a 45, and that sucker's huge.
Oh, really? Yeah.
But I can use it. It ain't gonna get warm.
Yeah, that's it's always. I know the weight's a penalty, but as far as amps, I mean, it doesn't. I mean, amps are if you have a 45 amp component, it doesn't mean that it's going to use 45 amps. It can withstand up to 45 amps. Do you follow me?
Yeah. Well, I'll probably use half of that with the 2814.
Right.
It's a cute little motor though. But I've been waiting to get the motor so I can start really building on that airplane. I got to get it done in 2 months. I got 2 months to build it and finish it.
This is for the Las Vegas Stunt Challenge?
Yeah. So that's what I'm planning on taking. I'd like to take a classic plane, but I got to check my 2 classics that I got. Oh, excuse me, I got to take this phone call.
Okay, let me go unmute you, John, or I'll mute you.
Yeah, go ahead and turn my mic off.
All right. Anyways, hey, Gary, thanks for coming in. How you doing? Good. And Marcel Legrand, he says, good evening, Charles and Stunthangar team. Well, thank you, Marcel Legrand. Thanks for coming in.
Marcel.
And we have 12 likes, 17 concurrent viewers. Thank you very much. Just keep lifting up those likes, and also don't forget the chat revenue helps us out, and new members subscribe to the YouTube channel, and that'll help us out. So we're rocking and rolling. And Mike Millard, your camera, I think you have some dust on your camera.
I don't know what the deal is with that.
It's just cloudy. It's like a cloudy room.
I don't know. It doesn't seem to help. Hang on a second. I raised the computer up so I don't have to bottom the seat out.
That should be a little bit better. It could still be clear.
Okay, I'll try a little later on.
Okay, all right.
Did you by chance hear from Phil?
I have not heard back from Phil. Hopefully he'll come in tonight. And now I just have a suspicion that I already sent it. Maybe I'm mistaken. This was my kid's first week in school.
Oh, geez.
It's been, I have 3 kids in high school. Anyway, I'll get back to model airplanes. And just as a reminder for everybody and myself, we have an audience that really prefers us talking about model airplanes and unfortunately, not about our health. They care about us, not about, other things. But model aviation is the point. We want to stay on point with that. So I will help you guys.
As he finds that and sends it.
Oh yeah.
I'm ordering a Brodeck 59 Aries to put it in.
Oh, very good. Now, what's the wingspan of that Aries 59?
That's the original 51 or 52. It's
Okay.
the one done by on the warranty art plan drawn from Bill's original drawing.
All right. Well, that
So
is a pretty
it's
plane.
original.
That is a pretty plane. I have a
Gorgeous
friend who
plane.
has a Aries, and it's dark blue, and it's pretty, and it's really light, by the way. And I think he has an OS Max 35S in it. And it's,
Yeah, that's kind of what Bill said. I finally got a copy of the build article for it from July of 02, and he says keep it under 42 and it'll fly great. Anything heavier and you're going to have to change how much flap you put on it because it likes to be light.
yeah. Well, Sparky is a big proponent of it, and
Yeah.
I have to concede it. I think a lighter plane is a better plane. It really is. I mean, if you can get it light, most people can't build light.
Yeah.
But if you can get a light plane, it does, because I have a Chipmunk and it's like 40 ounces and it flies really nice. And I had an Olympic that was I think it was 38 ounces.
Oh wow. I bet that flew nice.
35S. Yeah, that flew nice. And I have to say, it flew nice. It's no longer with us. Unfortunately, I had a motor flame out, and it happened at the worst possible time. And so it went in, and I mean, it just knocked off the nose. It could probably be repaired. But that was a really light plane, 38 and a half ounces, I think. And that was just so nice.
I think the original when Bill built it was 36. Yeah. Where he gets his wood, I have no clue. Kind of like Sparky. That's Billy wood. I don't know where he still gets good wood, but I guess he still does.
Hey, Bob, how you doing?
Hey, Charles, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm on Mary Ann's iPad tonight, and since that whole thing Sparky did with the new setup, I had to find my password again. So I had to call Sparky. Sparky got me a new password, but then we were BSing for about 15 minutes about Billy Werwich, who I'll tell you a little bit about him in a little while, and also about those drag plates. I was trying to tell him, about how to make those.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That'll be neat if he incorporates that in his planes. I haven't done it yet, but I plan on incorporating that for sure. But you've been flying lately?
I haven't been flying lately. I've been trying to fill all my orders, diligently trying to get what's left of my orders out the door here, which is still a lot of wings to get out. But when I get all that done, then hopefully I'll get back out to the field. We've had a lot of rain here too. It's been a pretty bad week of rain. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes it.
Figure out how to get the gallery view here. Whoops, what did I do here?
You're back anyway. I can see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. How do I do this thing here?
The
meeting settings, background.
I don't know about the iPads. I know you'll figure it out, Bob.
Yeah, give me a minute here.
Yeah, Marcel Legrand says, "Evening, John. The PF. I think that's primary force. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. That's Pathfinder, most likely." He says the Pathfinder is coming along nicely. I stopped to build a new model table, something I could walk around. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, the island setup is absolutely what I would want. I have something similar to an island setup, not completely. I can't walk around it completely, but I put mine on casters. So my table, I can turn my table.
That sounds like a good idea, as long as that is
really neat to be able to just turn it around.
The only problem with putting it on casters, and I tried that in the past, is if the bench is not absolutely rigid, then when you put weight on it to weight down something, it could bow.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful about that. But other than that,
Yeah, there's some operations I wouldn't do on it, but for what I'm doing right now, it's it's helped me to make some progress. My actual workbench is yeah, the kind of weight you used. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's yeah. That
Yeah.
told me it's like 300 pounds, right? Know what you said it was?
Well, this is a small one. It's only about 175.
Okay, yeah. I'm not putting any weight like that on my thing. Yeah, mine's I have to show it maybe in the after party when we're in the garage. But it's kind of it helps me get some things done. But anyways, I went out flying today, Bob. I really enjoyed I flew the lumber wagon today. That's just the best thing I got right now, or I have right now. I hope to finish the that plane. I think you sent me some balsa to do the molding on my new plane. I've been sidelined. I hope to get that back and hopefully finish that in time for the Las Vegas Stunt Challenge out here in November. But right now there's a contest next weekend, and of all my planes, I would feel more comfortable with would be the lumber wagon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A lumber wagon, you said?
Well, that's what you called it. Remember the video I showed you me flying the Strega and you
the Strega, yeah. I think what I said was it's impressive to see that much balsa in the air at one time.
That's right. Maybe I'm thinking of Sparky calls it lumber wagon.
Lumber wagon,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think big planes are pretty impressive when you watch them fly. I mean, it is, and that's as our hobby is getting older and older. I mean, it's just a fact of life. You just can't handle a big airplane unless it's light, and it's kind of hard to build a light plane. So you're seeing fewer and fewer big planes, like the size of the Strega.
It's kind of a catch-22. As we're getting older, we can't see as well either. So big airplanes we can see.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, but can you hang on to a big airplane?
Yeah,
big airplane. And without it tiring you out, because when I switched from my Chipmunk, which is about 41 ounces, to the Strega, boy, was that a rude awakening. I mean, because I actually had forgotten how in shape I was, that it made me, that the red Strega keeps me in shape. When I fly that plane, matter of fact, let me give you a little joke. I was at a party, a flying model party. So I'm talking about model airplanes. And I knew the host, my friend Mike, if you're listening, Mike Mulligan, and he had a friend. I didn't know him very well, but I met him, shook his hand, walked away. And when I came back, Mike Mulligan told me that his friend said, "Boy, Charles has such a hand." And my friend Mike told him, yes, because he flies heavy airplanes.
Well, you know what Billy Werwich once said, because Billy's not a big guy. And what he once said about big airplanes, he said, if you build an airplane that's bigger than you are, sooner or later, it's going to whoop you.
Yeah.
I just got through reading that in the USA One article.
Yeah, I have to make sure I get planted before I start my maneuver.
Yeah.
It will walk me if I'm not fully have all my weight down and all that. It's a heavy plane, but it's flying pretty good. I still have some things I want to take care of. I've been trimming it little by little as I discover deficiencies. I'm trying to address them, but they're getting fewer and fewer. There's still some issues I got to work out. Right now, I'm flying it too fast. Today, my friend Joe Mata, he timed me at 4.8 seconds inverted and 4.7 upright. Is a little fast. Hey Jim, how's it going?
Hey, it's going good.
Great to see you.
Internet. Jesus.
I didn't get that.
I fixed my internet.
Oh, good.
Right, good.
Well, tell us how did you fix it? That we all could use help in that.
Yeah, that Netgear switch I had that was
Right.
running, I had a Frontier and a Netgear. Well, it was all messed up, so we got rid of it and we get our internet through the LAN. And
Through
the
the
boys through the LAN.
The land, okay.
Yeah, I bought a Nest.
Okay. Yeah.
We hooked it up. and I'm gonna like us, and then I'm gonna go try to.
Well, thank you very much. Appreciate those likes. So it's 16 likes now. I expect it to go up to 17 when you get done with that.
Okay, so let's see.
Carl was here. Hey, John, by the way, Marcel Legrand says the PF, I'm assuming that's Pathfinder, is coming along nicely. Wow, he's still on the phone. I thought he was off the phone. Never mind, John. So, so you have you done any flying, Jim? I don't know what the weather's like where you're at. Have you done any flying?
I'm going in the morning.
Oh, good.
Just not so much flying, but going down with my brother, and I'm going to show some guys some stuff. And let's see. I'm trying to figure out if I can super chat in here.
Okay.
Anybody figured that part out yet?
What are you on? You on a laptop or?
I'm on an iPad.
Yeah, I don't know very much about that.
Usually you have to leave, look at it on YouTube, and then you can super chat there. So let me go see if I can figure that out. Right?
All right. Hey, Carl, welcome back. I saw you came in and went out. Thanks for coming back. And let's see here. Oh, I got to edit this. I'm in the control panel as well. Let me edit this thing here. Monetization. Okay. All right. I'm back. Anyways, so John, are you back, John? No, not yet. Okay. You're still on the phone. Okay. I didn't see the phone, so you had it below your screen. I didn't see it.
I'll go, I wonder. There he is.
Yeah. So what are you working on, Mike? Are you working on I know your future plans is the Aries, but are you working on anything right now?
Right now, due to finances, after all the stuff I've been through lately, those ribs I made for the Excalibur, as typical for me, wound up too short, so I'm going to have to start over with those. And that I'm going to build one of those to learn to fly. I originally was wanting to go to that Las Vegas thing. We were even going to make reservations and go, but no way. I can't do anything probably till March.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to go to the BSC.
I totally understand that. And maybe we'll see each other at BSC. I hope to
really enjoy that.
Yeah, I actually only been to one BSC, and I was like, oh my goodness, I've been missing such a party. That was I mean, Brodax is more of a party, but BSC is a close second.
Yeah, and it's back this year, supposedly. So far, Brodax.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah, when I went to Brodax in 2016, it was because that was advertised as the last one. So yeah. I broke the bank and went there, and
yeah, that's kind of a pricey trip for just about anybody that isn't on the East Coast.
Yeah, and even the Nats was an expensive trip for me coming from California. But it was those things. It was one of those kind of bucket list.
Glad you got to go. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I have no regrets. I have pictures from it. One day I got to do a slideshow of all the pictures I took at Brodax.
Yeah,
I think Sparky's.
What's Sparky? Where's Sparky? Oh, there's the wing.
Yeah,
it's coming out beautiful.
He's just getting set up.
Yeah.
Will Davis says, "Good evening, Charles." Hey, Will Davis.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in. Thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, well, I remember you from the Brodax, and it was just great. It's great time. Brodax was fantastic.
I just got through watching one of his videos, the one of the Giski Nobler. Great video.
Will Davis.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's who did that one.
I don't remember. I've
Great
been
video.
on Will Davis's channel. I think I'm a subscriber of Will. I think I've subscribed to
I don't know if I've subscribed to him, but I saw it, the restoration of the Giske Nobler. And it showed some later pictures of Bob flying the bear.
Yeah, that was a good video. I've seen that. That really was a good video.
Hey, Bob, show me your
Oh.
doodads.
What's that?
Show me the doodads.
Doodad. Oh,
The doodads.
uh,
Mark.
actually, I can't. The crossfire's up in my office. I have, and that's something I wanted to talk about. I had to take the crossfire out of here. I had to make some room, and I'll tell you about that as we get going here. Yeah, I'll have to send it to you, Bob.
Okay, I sent you a private message.
Yeah, I'll send it to you tonight. When as soon as I get off here, I don't want to climb those stairs again today.
Stairs get old.
I think the last two Stunthangar videos, I know, but in the last two, you'd actually showed a pretty good show and tell of it.
Yeah, within the what was it, week and a half ago or something?
Yeah, it might have been last Friday, as a matter of fact. I don't think it was Monday, but I think last Friday he shows it in pretty good detail.
Trying to find a union nut here because I want to show you guys something, but I want to display it to good effect. So,
All right. Hey, Sparky, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Getting ready to take a shower and go to bed. Got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, head over to Muncie.
Oh, that's FCM or?
Yeah.
So,
Very cool.
did you get enough super chats and stuff to help defray the cost?
Not really. $10 is all I got.
Oh, geez. I truly wish I could, but right now I'm
That's all right.
strapped.
Hopefully when people are watching it, they will give you the super chats during the live show. I know you pay for it up front, Sparky, but hopefully during the live streaming of it and all that, people will be inspired to donate.
Yeah.
So James Smith says he got the chat going and he has to figure out the super chat. So we have a super chat, I think, in the making by Jim Smith here, Sparky.
It's that little dollar sign at the bottom of the chat window.
Yeah, but he's on an iPad, so he's just trying to navigate how to do that on an iPad.
I was digging through my briefcase. Seems like I must be made of money. Merrick Bank had sent me a check for $30 in January of this year. It's probably no good now.
No, you might have to call him and send you another check.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Yeah, most of the time they're only good for like 60 days or so.
Yeah.
It's a refund or something. I don't know. It says attached check represents a refund of the account referenced in the check below. Your account has been adjusted to reflect this refund.
Oh.
Okay.
Very good.
Very good.
Always
Oh,
Good news always helps sometimes. Where'd Bob go? He's still trying to set something up.
Here comes Tom. Hey, Tom Rammel. Thanks for coming in.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hey, Tom.
Tom, I had an interesting week. Very melancholy week for me.
Boy.
A lot of good things happened, and a lot of really bad things happened, and a couple of really melancholy things happened. The week started out Monday morning with a call from Betty Weeder. Does anybody know Buddy Weeder?
Oh,
Did
yeah.
anybody?
Never met him, but I've heard of him.
Yeah, well, Buddy was my best friend, and I've known him since 1959. But we had become really, really close friends in the early 2000s and all the way up to his passing a couple of years ago. And he was an exceptional builder and finisher, like Sparky. Really, really good finisher. And he built 6 airplanes or 5 airplanes here in my shop. He didn't have a shop at home that he could build in, so he came down here sometimes 2 or 3 days a week and spent the whole day. And we'd bust each other chops like the Joysians are prone to do. And he built airplanes. And when he passed, he still had 2 airplanes left. His big twin, the Ryan's Evil twin, and one of his Ryan's Eagles. And Betty kept those airplanes because her son, who has special needs, loved those airplanes. But now they're going to have to move from the home they're in, which is a huge, beautiful home with tremendous amount of property and views and everything. But she's going to have to move into a condo, and she has to get rid of everything. And one of the things she's going to had to get rid of was his airplanes, so they wouldn't get damaged. And so she called me up Monday and explained this to me and asked me if I would come get the airplanes. She gave me both of his airplanes. And that was very hard for me because I know how much his son loved them. But she said the kid's on board with it. And I told him if he ever wanted to see him, we go flying and he could watch him fly. He's got a bad case of epilepsy. And he's it's getting better in some respects, but he's still very challenged. But he's a nice young man. So anyway, that was the first melancholy thing that happened. And then we found out that Frank McMillan had to have 3 operations this week, 3 surgeries, and he's okay. So it's been an up and down week for me,
Yeah, I bet.
Wow.
And one of my favorite singer-songwriters passed away. Nancy Griffith passed away. So it's been a really kind of up and down week for me. So
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, Marcel LeGrand says, after you put the bell crank in, Sparky, and he just left it there. I don't know what, you know what he's talking about, Sparky?
Yeah. What about it?
That's all he wrote.
Well, I just set the bell crank in there. I'm looking for some tubing right now to suspend it, but
Oh, wow.
That wing is a work of art, literally. Gorgeous wing.
It's all right. I mean, could be better, could be lighter.
That's kind of hard to do when you can't find light wood.
Sparky thinks helium should be lighter.
Yeah. Taking all the wood out of it I can get out of it.
It's got to be fine, Bob.
Yeah, I know.
But anyway, I wanted to finish up. Well, before we get into that, we want to focus on Sparky's thing, but I wanted to finish up that story and show you, just because I think these are really spectacular airplanes. A couple of Buddy's airplanes here.
Wow.
Yeah, I've seen them in person. They're nice.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous airplane.
A really nice airplane.
Is that Ryan's Eagle?
This is Ryan's Eagle, yeah.
Yeah, he flew that at the last Nats that he flew, didn't he?
Yep. Mm-hmm. So that's one of them. I'll get the other one down here while we're talking about Sparky's wing here.
That is a beautiful plane, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, it's and it's going to get used because she said Buddy would not want it to hang on the wall. She said he'd want it to fly, so I'm going to take it out and fly it.
Good.
Fantastic.
So go, it's all yours, Sparky.
I got nothing to add. I'm just tinkering here. I could say I got to get ready for bed.
John was raising his hand. I don't know what's up.
No, John, he's on the phone.
Man, I know I got medium tubing here. I can't find it. Like everything else, you can't find anything. This is small.
So Tom, what you been up to, Tom? You're muted, by the way.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you.
I've been working on, I'm gonna be building the TUT,
Okay.
those timers.
Yeah.
And so I'm working on building the oven that melts the solder for the
Right.
surface, because it's surface mount. So I've been building the oven to do that, and I've been sticking those videos on YouTube under my name.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, all those videos are up, or at least what I've done so far. I still have more to do to get it done, but I'm going to use that to build those TUT units for whoever is interested in purchasing one of them.
There it is.
Bob, by the way, I really finally got to read your 59 Aries interview. That was a great article.
Thank you. Thank you. Those were fun. All those articles were written here in this next room over when I had my office over here. Billy came in, he would come in to build for a week or two at a time, and we'd play guitar until wee hours of the morning, and then we'd build, and we'd go until we felt we just dropped, and then we'd get up whenever we got up and go until we dropped again. But what we were doing is the Vulcan, the USA 1, the 59 Aries, and the GOXL. All those articles are written in this room over here. And Billy's not a writer. You know, he doesn't like to sit down and write. But what he does like to do is tell stories. So I would ask him questions about the airplane, or ask him to just tell me about the airplane. And I'd write one paragraph at a time, and I'd read it back to him. And then we'd hammer it out, and he'd fix little details until we got the paragraph to say exactly what he wanted it to say. Then we move on. And sometimes it would take us like 4 or 5 days of doing that painstakingly to put an article together. But that's how all of those articles came into being.
They're all great. I think I've read them all.
And they were fun. They were fun to do, because I would try to convince him to say something in a little different way, and he'd yell at me, and we'd laugh, and it was funny. We had a lot of fun.
Where are these
thought
articles
you were
at?
saying that he
What's that?
just talked to him. I heard you say you had just talked to him today.
Yeah, well, actually, he called me. He called me, and he was on the phone. I couldn't shut him up. He was on the phone for about an hour and a half. And he said it. What I'm going to tell you now, he said it's okay to tell people. Billy, when he's not feeling well, and he's had health issues over the last few years, he kind of goes incommunicado. He just goes off the map. And he called me up and he said, "I'm back." He said, "I'm back big time. I'm 25 again." And it turns out he's had a lot of kidney issues throughout his life. And I'm sure it has nothing to do with the amount of beer he drank. But he has to have dialysis now. He's on dialysis. And he thought that was the end. And it turned out to be the beginning, because he said it's not that bad. He says it's 4 hours, 3 times a week. They have this big color TV that he can watch, and he likes history programs, so he can sit and watch history programs for 4 hours at a clip. But now he says he has his breath back, he has his energy back, and he's flying, and he's probably going to come in and fly at our contest. And he's feeling really good. So yeah, he was, yeah, it really was good to hear the old Billy back again, you know.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm happy about it.
So my question earlier, Bob, was that where can we get those articles, or if you want to read them? I just want to know, maybe others want to know too.
Well, they should be in the Model Aviation archives, because all of them were published in Model Aviation when I was the editor there.
Yeah,
I was having to get anybody to submit anything. So I said to Billy, I said, "You want to make some extra change?" You know, and he said, "Sure." So I said, let's publish your airplanes." And he said, "Great." So that's how we did that. And I kind of took a little heat from a few people in the stunt world because we published so many of his airplanes. But the fact of the matter is, nobody else
They're all
submitted
great
it.
airplanes.
Nobody submitted anything. So,
Okay.
you know,
I think I've seen the Vulcan article. I have that. I printed that off of Motivation News. I know I've
That
seen
was kind of, I had PM'd you about the 59 Aries. The only way I could get that article to read was go to the plan section, click on read the PDF, and then I had to print it off on my computer. I could, for some reason that July 2002 magazine is all messed up. It's
wow.
got parts of February in it.
Well, I got a copy of it someplace. So if you
Yeah.
need to, I could lend you the copy, you know.
Yes, Serge was going to, and he couldn't find his yet, but I
I
printed
know,
it
I
off
know where
together.
mine is.
Yeah.
Every stunt article magazine I kept, you know,
Yeah.
all the way back into the 50s. So I got a lot of stunt article magazines. So I want to show you one more airplane here I got down. This is Buddy's, what he calls it, Ryan's evil twin.
Is that the one he built same time you built the second wind or whatever?
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, wow, that's pretty.
I've seen that one too.
Let's see if I can get a better view of it here. And it's got it's retractable landing gear.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
And a nice airplane.
that is. You guys, I know that we all want to say ooh and ah, but whenever we do that, the view goes to who's ever speaking. So try to reframe and just let Bob talk, and then that'll be big on the screen, and our viewers can see the plane. So I know it's hard to resist, but try to not say anything. Let Bob do all the talking.
Okay, ready? Ooh, ah. Anyway, there it is.
All right, I guess we can talk. All right, fantastic. That's the only problem with this this thing here. It's I have from time to time I'll put it in speaker view to show something big, but then if anybody else comments or something, then it just goes to the other person. But that was a pretty plane. Wow.
Still is.
Charles, you can pin one person to the main view. You just click on those three dots in the upper right corner of their screen and say pin. Click on pin. It's a drop
All
down
right.
menu.
All right. I'll try that. When next time someone shows something, I'll try that.
Because I've noticed that on YouTube also, that it goes to whoever's talking.
So when they're pinned, then we have to unpin them to
Yeah, then
the gallery.
when you're done, you have to remember to unpin them. Otherwise they'll, and then I noticed when you unpin, then you have to go back to your view and go back to gallery view because it always defaults to speaker view.
Thanks, appreciate that. That's been something that I've been contending with. It's like got to be a better way to do this, because having people be quiet is even like when Bob cracked that joke, started laughing. Whoever laughed the loudest, it went to them.
Yeah, so I'll talk a little bit about the TUT unit. I'm having a little bit of difficulty getting components because, you know, all the chips are hard to get right now. And so it may take a while before I can build the TUT units just because of the availability of chips.
So I see here that I can actually pin the first person and pin the second person. So we can have two people side by side. That question is directed towards you, Tom.
I've never used the the
Okay.
two-person pin.
Oh, I just saw the pin and said pin the first person. I saw in the drop-down menu, it said pin the second person. I just
Oh, okay.
didn't know what that was.
Well, try it, see what happens.
I will. Let's see here.
That's what I do with Stunthanger is I just start doing stuff, see what happens.
I understand. I know you can't break anything, really. So, let's see here.
You know, I just tried it. I don't have the pin the second person, so that must just be the host that can do that.
Maybe, and it was actually screen. I actually just saw it briefly, and I thought it was person, but it was first screen or pin the second screen. So I guess that could be a person as well, but the actual word there was screen.
Okay.
I'll put it back on gallery. We'll work on it. As I try things and understand and learn that these things will get better, I'll get better too. So Todd Stinson says, that's great news about Billy, and that is great news. And Marcel Legrand, did you want anything more to say? Because you said after you put the bell crank in, Sparky, and then you didn't finish. Was there something else you wanted to say? Was that a question, or what was you trying to say, Marcel?
Well, let me, you can pin this for a second and I'll show him what I was doing.
Okay.
I just was finishing it up right now. Okay. You got me pinned?
Yeah, you're the second person. Me unpin Tom.
All I see is you.
Yeah, right now it's just the Tom showing and you're showing Sparky.
All I see is you.
Yeah, it's just probably just lagging behind. But all I see is you right now. And I'll see in the control panel in a moment. You know, it trails behind us, so we'll see. Yeah, in the YouTube channel, it's showing just you, Sparky.
Okay. All right. I don't know what's going on with this stupid thing. Anyhow, after I've drilled these holes and I made my compression spars, and even Gordon Delaney was asking me, you know, is this the bell crank mount? Yes and no. It's more a compression spar than it is the bell crank mount. The bell crank mount goes on the outside of this. Anyway, it's a floating bell crank. What I was just doing is I was just spacing these the fuel line tubing to hold that bell crank in position so that it can't float up and down. So when I glue these in, it's you know, pressed between the two compression spars. And the mount is, like I told you, aircraft ply on top of the sheeting between the fuselage. So in order to pull the bell crank out, you'd have to pull it through the fuselage. There's no way.
Idea. I like that idea.
This is your first compression spar I've seen with lightning holes. Maybe I missed the other ones.
It's the first one I've done in a while with lightning holes, but it doesn't matter. These are light ply instead of basswood. I've used light ply. My Monado has light ply, but no lightning holes. People say, well, you know, is it going to be strong enough? Well, it's not very strong flexing this way, but we're using them in compression and tension. So when you give it up, you put it in a positive G, the bottom one is trying to expand and the top one's trying to kind of contract, and vice versa. Plus, if you think about it, the way that you do the sheeting, you got double thickness sheeting in the center here. I mean, there's a lot of strength there. And then you got all the glue that goes on the thing from the sheeting. So the sheeting goes on there. I mean, it's solid. It's like a beam wing airplane doesn't look like it would be very strong, and it's not. Every single piece is not very strong, but sum of the total is what makes it strong, if that makes any sense.
Right, right.
The actual strength in a beam wing comes from the covering, not from the spar. The spar just kind of holds everything where it belongs. And dope is plastic, so the more plastic you have on it, the stronger it is, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we started doing those tension and compression joiners in the earliest lost foam wings, and it works. You could drive a car over them, they're not going to break. They're really strong.
Yeah, it looks good.
But Delaney was asking me if this was the bell crank mount. And like I said, it is and it isn't. It just kind of holds the bell crank there till I get it installed in the airplane.
It's a secondary bell crank mount.
Right. There's a lot of bell crank mount there too. I mean, you got top and bottom, light ply, plus you got the balsa wood, plus you got the tissue, then you got the aircraft ply. It ain't never going to come out.
Yeah, you got 4 bell crank mounts.
Yeah,
Literally, you have
dare
4
it
bell
to
crank.
come out.
The 2 tension and compression joiners, and when the post goes when you put it into the fuselage, you put a plate over the post between the fuse sides, and you got essentially 4 bell crank mounts.
And then I also superfill all the inside and all that stuff. So you got to pull the superfill to it, not coming apart.
It doesn't sound like it.
What I do is I put triangular balsa braces between the back of the shear webs and the C-tube spars and the bottom and top of the inner portions of the tension and compression joiners. So you get so much strength. You're never going to break those wings, ever. At least not by having the bell crank pull out or having them fold from aerodynamic load. If you hit a fence or something, they'll break.
Of course. Yeah.
Well, it has been done a few times.
And toolboxes and cartwheels.
Yeah, in the back of 67 Chevys.
Oh.
I still remember the year that you the dust devil came up and you kind of broke your crossfire. I wish I'd have been 10 foot closer.
Yeah, Buddy beat himself up over that. He said he was right next to it, but he was holding his airplane down. He said, I should have held yours down. I said, why? It's like, hold your own airplane down. Don't worry about mine.
I think that's the same year I caught the Brazilian P-51 in midair.
That was 2012.
It was terrible. I caught that. You should have seen
No, I
his
take it
eyes.
back. 2011. I'm sorry.
Should have seen his eyes. They were big as 50-cent pieces. When I grabbed that airplane it just whoop up in my face. Grabbed that airplane by the fuselage. Didn't hurt it.
That crossfire that got picked up by that dust devil and thrown down and broke in half. That's the one I'm flying now.
Yeah, I knew that. It used to be copper. Now it's what? Red, white, and blue?
Red, white, and blue. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't copper. It was metallic brown.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever you got 55-gallon drum of.
No,
I'll never live that down.
I think the original colors my dad wanted to paint his Ambroid Aries. One of them was a Cadillac Polymist something brown.
Fire Mist Brown. That's what I had on the original, not the original Genesis, but the 80 Genesis and the 77 and the 78 Genesis were all Cadillac Fire Mist Brown, red and black over white.
Yeah, and the other he was using, I think, was Corona Cream. I think that was a GM color, but I don't know from when.
Yeah.
Hey, Denny, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Nice to be here. Sorry I'm late.
No worries. No
No
worries.
worries. Good to see you.
And Sparky, I finally, actually, Marcel cleared it up for me. He said that after you said you're going to go to bed to go to Muncie, Marcel Legrand meant after you go to bed after you finish putting the bell crank in. So that's what he was talking about.
Oh,
Okay.
well, I'm up and down all the time. I don't sleep much.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was laying in bed, what was it, earlier this week or something, and it was like, 1 or 2 in the morning for me. So it must have been, 4 o'clock in the morning for you, and you was already up videoing. And that's when I said, hi, Sparky, and then I went to bed after that.
Oh, yeah, I remember. I guess, some of the guys like this live stuff. I mean, I think it's got to be boring, but they watch it, so whatever.
I enjoy both, Sparky. I
What?
watched a lot of your build voiceovers and that, but I enjoy both.
Well, you get to see me make the mistakes, and you're going to make, one guy said, what am I supposed to be impressed? You make mistakes and redo, and hey, that's all part of it, and the guy who can figure out the fix is the guy that's the good model builder.
Exactly. Yeah, I was watching that night with that comment. That kind of irritated me too.
It's funny because when I was doing all those Stunt Flyer Video magazine videos with the how-to sections, they were all time-lapsed and voiced over, and they'd flow one to another, and it all looked so perfect. Everybody said, oh, you never make mistakes. I said, you have no idea how many mistakes were made, and you just edit it and you cut it out. Sparky's showing the real thing.
Yes, he is.
If I cut something wrong, okay, that's not a big deal. Don't put it in, make a new one, or whatever.
It's the reality of how building is actually done.
Yeah. Little by slowly, I finally learned that lesson. That's why I'm completely remaking the ribs for the Excalibur. They've got to be right, or it's no good. I tend to use way too much glue on stuff.
Bob says settle for perfection. Well, there's nobody perfect, but try to get it damn close.
Yeah.
Get as close as you can without killing yourself.
And each one gets better. That's how it should be.
That's right, why I'm doing the Excaliburs first before the Aries.
I keep telling that story, Bob, about my original Thunderbolts, and nobody believes that in 2004 I came out with the tape and the pictures and said I was going to build those airplanes. Is that true or not?
Oh yeah, I remember when you came to the fields at the Nationals.
That was the Worlds. That was 2000.
Well, the Worlds. That was 2000. Well, yeah. Well, the Nats was that year too. At
right,
2000.
but I was there for the Worlds meet. I didn't come back for the Nats. I started man, I was impressed with that thing. And I said, I'm going to build me a couple of these. And you guys went, yeah, right.
You
and I ended up with them.
Yeah. Put your mind to it. You can do anything.
Yeah, it's true. Hey, Bob, I think you might be able to help Jim Smith. He's asking how to turn on the gallery view. He's on an iPad. Do you know?
There's a little icon that has a whole bunch of little dots. That's where I found it. Let me see if I can find that again. And a whole bunch of little dots in a square. And I just hit on that and I got the gallery view.
Is that up in the upper right corner of the screen?
I can't find it now because I guess it's on now. So
yeah, Denny, Jim's on an iPad. That's why I asked Bob. He's on an iPad.
Okay, and the screen looks different on an iPad. Wow.
What's that?
I think Denny was asking, is the iPad different than the PC or laptop?
Yeah, there's some different icons and different placements of them and things. So why I had trouble at first, but I got it now.
Yeah, they can't leave stuff where it is ever.
Yeah, if it's working, I gotta see they make it better.
They wouldn't have a job if they weren't doing something. And I found a lot of filters and stuff.
Yeah, I saw that. Saw the smiley faces all the way around.
Yeah, there's a bunch of
Christmas lights.
yeah. Let's see. You go to the 3 dots in your picture And let's see.
On my computer screen, I'm assuming that's the view with has 3 dots and looks like a screen below it. It says
No.
view.
Upper right-hand corner of your picture on the screen, there's 3 dots that'll drop down. There'll be settings, general, video, audio, share screen, chat, background filters, recording, profile, statistics, feedback, keyboard shortcuts, accessibility. It says on the chat, it says include link preview, change my status, notifications, and the share screen, full screen, fit, scale to fit, contact the Zoom window, silent system notification, share individual windows. From an automatic, oh, well,
Oh, I know what's the problem.
there we go.
Problem is,
When I share my screen in the meeting, there's a lot of stuff in here. I didn't realize it. I don't use this program very often, so I don't know what's in there.
it's better. This
You can't
thing,
just click on a person and it show them for some reason. I don't know why.
can't get it in. This lamp is just, I think that's glare off the lamp, Charles.
Okay, well, you look better. You're a little bit clearer, not quite as foggy.
Need to find
Just in the
somewhere else to
center.
put that lamp so it's not making glare.
Hey, Steve, thanks for coming in.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Going
Doing
good.
well. And Jim, thanks for coming back, Jim.
Hey, I don't know if how many people will appreciate this, but Dennis had a real good idea today when I talked to him. And on the badass motors, if you mount it nose mount, they make an adapter now with a 5mm smooth shaft that comes, you can bolt on and put an extra bearing at the back of the motor.
You don't need it.
But it would take off even more stress.
If we're not having a problem, why put the extra weight in the airplane? Nobody's having a problem with front mount motors. You're having the cantilevered load. The spinning mass of the can is behind the mount, and the processive loads, the prop weight, the spinner weight is ahead of the mount. Everything's balanced. There's no need to put a rear one on there. We tried it, and it's just not necessary. We discarded it years and years ago.
But
Yeah,
the
and
back of the mount weighs 12 ounces, and on the front of the mount weighs what, 1 ounce?
12 ounces? What weight?
no, it's not 12.
Or 6 ounces, I mean. The motor, on the back part, you got 6 ounces. On the front part, you got what, 2 ounces maybe, with the prop and the.
Well, the processive loads and everything of the prop are going to be more than that. The spinning mass and the processive loads are at least half of it. You know, but what I'm asking is, we've been using front mounts without the rear cradle, whatever you want to call it, the rear mount, rear bearing, for 12 years, 50, more than that. Denny, what do you think?
Well, I'm just recalling way back when, I think you did your original Genesis install and you put the extra bearing on it.
Yep.
And there have been a number of trials. And when I was talking to Steve about it earlier today, I mentioned that we were using that Dave, my brother Dave, and his 3D mounts was putting the extra bearing on his beam style mount, because it has very, very close tolerances and there's not a lot of room to put a lot of plastic around it. You put a rear bearing and it takes all the bending stress off of it, and it takes all of the movement out of the motor. It's not a question of the motor. failing. It's a question of stiffening the mounting surface and spreading the load out. So,
Well, with the hard nose mounts, we've had zero trouble, zero. And I mean, we've flown hundreds and hundreds of flights, probably thousands of flights, and no issues whatsoever.
So, but how many flights do you get out of bearings with a front mount motor? And how many do you,
way more than you get
I
with
mean,
the rear
has
mount.
anyone really tested it to say bearings go out at 500 flights no matter if you put a rear bearing on it or not? Or
I can
is
tell
somebody
you
just
this
saying, you know, it seems like it lasts just as long to me.
I can tell you this much. The only problem I've had with electric flight was when I first started out, I used an axle with a rear mount. And you have all this, you have the cantilever load of the can and the prop and the spinner and the processive loads. Everything is ahead of the mount. And one day I was out at the field and the thing made the most horrible screeching noise you ever heard. What happened was the bearing didn't go bad, but the oscillating loads actually moved the metal in the back of the case and actually coned it out. And the bearing started spinning in the bearing mount. And it made the worst noise you ever heard in your life.
The only motors that I know that you don't have problems with the bearings are what a lot of Euros use, which is a Plettenberg motor. Because a Plettenberg, where you change the bearing, there's 3 of them. And 2 of them are in the front and 1 in the rear. And so the 2 load bearing ones, you have an inner and an outer one. If the bearings go bad, you just call them up and they will ship you a new shaft and a new plate. You cannot push those out. You can't, you ruin them as soon as you push them out.
Yeah, but those are expensive motors and they're not necessary. Even Paul Walker, who used to tout them, is now flying badass motors. They're just bulletproof. That whole system is bulletproof.
Yeah, right. And I know Phil Bailey, he's trading a couple of Joker motors. To get some Vicus units from Tom and Howard. But yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm gonna use a badass. I got a badass for mine.
Well, guys, I gotta go. Good night.
Have a good
Yeah,
night,
Good
Sparky.
night, Sparky. Thanks for coming in.
And if you front mount it, you're not going to have a problem. You're just not going to have a problem.
Now, front mount.
As long as you use a robust enough mount. I mean, okay, so that's a caveat I hadn't thought of. If the mount is actually flexible, then you may need a rear bearing. But if you're using a solid mount, like the G10 mounts we use, there's no problems.
Yeah, I don't know how much they'll flex, but that would keep any flexing out of that front motor mount also.
We haven't been experienced any flexing in our mounts. Now, other mounts may, depending on the materials they're made out of and the thicknesses of the materials, there may be issues with those, and then you may need to use a rear mount, a rear bearing. But I've never seen I've never found it necessary to do that with the mounts we're using.
That's a little better.
But do whatever you feel comfortable doing. That's but when you do put in a rear bearing, you got to make sure there is no friction between the front bearing where it's routed in the front and where the back. Because if there's any friction at all, you're going to eat more battery and you're going to make more heat.
that's for sure.
So if you do that, make sure you line them up absolutely perfectly.
You think of this little cute little thing?
Can you make that bigger, Charles?
Yeah, 1 second. Let me get to him. There you are. You're big.
Okay, the 2814 for the little Ellie.
Mm-hmm. What's the KV on that?
970.
So it's a 4S motor or a 5S or a 4S motor.
I've got a 4S 2200 that I'm going to run.
Hey, did you get your batteries yet, John?
I got some from Badass. I didn't get the ones I ordered from Amazon yet. Yeah. What kind of ends they got on them? What
Yeah,
kind of ends do they have on them?
How many? This is 25C.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, how much were those, Steve? You talked about.
$16
Yeah,
through Amazon and free shipping.
that's almost a disposable.
Yeah, I couldn't believe $16 a piece. You got to buy 2 at a time, but you know, it's still
You can
only
live with that.
$32 for whatever it was for that.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, and they seem like a nice battery. We'll see how long they last.
I remember buying my first set of batteries. I was so proud of myself. I comparison shopped and I got them for, I think it was $130 a piece.
yeah.
Now, Bob, you remember those times?
Oh yeah.
You were buying them 3 or 4 years before I was. And
Yeah, I was
so,
buying the smaller packs. I couldn't get the size I wanted, and we were putting them together to make a pack we wanted. You know, what I flew the world with in 2006.
now, as that wise man once told me, what we have now is the worst it's ever going to get. He's been
How
right
about
for at least 10 years now. So
Who coined that phrase?
damned if I know.
I'll say though, the only downside to this, if you vowed never to buy nothing from China because of the coronavirus, these are made in China. So
I challenge you to find a LiPo that isn't made in China.
Yeah.
yeah, but
Or for that matter, an Outrunner.
So we're all hypocrites. So who cares?
Mm,
yeah, so I mean, you know, we never can
That's
fly
it.
electric again.
it's a, I don't know. I fly sailplanes, but then all my servos and everything like that are, they got Chinese motors and everything like that. So let's get a life here, folks.
Yeah.
I guess it's rubber power free flight for all of us.
Yeah.
Guy showed up at VSC once with a rubber powered U-control plane. Wouldn't fly the whole pattern, but he had fun. You remember that? Were you there for that, Bob?
Was that Tom Lay?
Might have been, but it was a nice looking. It looked like a free flight plane on lines,
But Tom Lay used to come out with some outrageous stuff. He had more fun than anybody ever at that contest.
Oh, to him, that's what flying was all about. It was fun. If you ain't having fun, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
I would have liked to have seen that. That had to be something.
Yeah, he could do about maybe 10, 15 laps. That's all he could do.
Yeah. Or,
real slow at the end.
Yeah, real slow. But it was old time legal.
That's funny.
Miss didn't have it in his list, but it was legal.
Hey, Denny.
According to the rules, though, can't you refuel so you can rewind it and start where you left off?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Hey, if you wanted to do that, I'd be willing to sit there in my judge's chair and say, "Wind on, baby."
Yeah,
I'll take as long as I'm willing to take as long as you're willing to take.
I remember the first electric. I think it was the first electric powered airplane I saw. If I'm not mistaken, it was your brother or your dad, Denny, had that. What was it?
It was the twin boom thing. Oh, ugliest.
Oh yeah, the yo-yo.
Yeah, and that was an interesting thing. He had a
1990 National.
Yep, he had an Astro 15 Cobalt motor on it, and I think it was a 8-cell pack, whatever. The airplane weighed something like 12 ounces, and with the battery, it weighed 48.
That's a big battery.
Didn't have any governing on it or anything like that. He lit it up, he started flying it, and it would fly really good for about 2 minutes or so. And about after, and it would start slowing down. And by the time he got to the end, it was like, just hang on, because the pilot was a spectator at that point. And
We were all amazed. It was pretty cool. That was when we were flying out on that runway that was like it was all dirt and everything.
yeah, well, the funny thing is, I never actually got to see that airplane fly. I was living in Indiana. I wasn't active, and
Oh, you weren't there.
I was living in Indiana, and I heard about it, and I heard he destroyed it, and that was that.
Wow.
But actually, I heard my flying buddy claims to have had the first electric powered airplane. Did Wes tell you that story?
Yeah.
He took back in the 1940s, he couldn't afford a gas engine. He built it, but he had an airplane. He couldn't afford an engine for it, but he got a electric motor from a horn. Okay, a klaxon horn, whatever. Said he got that. He did everything he could do, chopped as much metal off of it as he possibly could to try to lighten it up. Built an airplane, put it in there. He had wires going from his hands to the airplane. He had his electric train transformer sitting at his feet with an extension cord run into the house, that he was able to get the thing airborne. All right. And he's claiming first electric, and it was a little before my time, so I can't say no, you didn't. So
That's cool.
that was about I think he said it was like 46 or 47, so it was like 7 or 8 years before I was born. So I really can't contradict him. So,
But that legitimizes electric for old time airplanes.
Yes, it does.
well, hey, that I think it does. But the other thing that legitimizes it is, true old timers had batteries on board.
That's funny.
Now the other
Better
thing,
run the
Bob,
coil.
back
Who was
to my
that?
dad's airplane, that was the Cobalt, Astro Cobalt was a brushed motor.
Yeah.
Which meant it had sparks. So Dave wanted to, we got the motor laying around someplace. You're going to take that motor, put it in an airplane. He wants to take it to BSC and fly it in Sparky.
That'd be great.
Oh, I'm sure that would go over big time, wouldn't it? So
What company was it that had the little airplane, had batteries and a little handle? And
yeah,
who was that? What was that? Stanzel?
I think it was Stansel.
I remember flying one of those in the 50s.
Yeah.
All you did is go around. You whipped it more than the battery,
Mhm.
Robbie had one of those when he was about 6 years old or 5 years old. He used to fly it out in front of our house. So he was the first, in our family, he was the first electric flyer.
Oh, wow.
I've seen it on YouTube where they run wires along with the control wires and
Mhm.
had a battery. The one guy had a battery hung around him,
Yeah.
then it powered the handle and
Wow.
flew the airplane.
Imagine how much line drag he had on that thing.
Can you imagine what resistance was in the wires? Holy
Oh,
shit.
my.
Talk about hot wires.
Yeah.
Hey, Denny,
Amazing.
are you going to come to our contest and fly old time?
I am hoping to fly whatever times you got, old times, new times, and everything like that. So
gonna
that's
have old
definitely on the
time.
plan.
We're going to
Right
have old
now,
time.
I'm still laid up. I couldn't go to Detroit last week, and I can't go to FCM this week because I'm still recovering from that foot infection I had, and
We'll get
the
over it.
doctor grounded me again. So,
Look how much money you're saving, Dennis.
oh yeah, right.
Hey, listen, if here's the deal. Billy wants to come in and fly at that, but he hasn't got a car that's going to make it here, I don't think. So Bobby McDonald may bring him, but Bobby's brother is quite ill. So if Bobby can't come in and you're coming in, maybe you can stop by and pick up Billy.
That sounds like a possibility. I know Wes wants to come too, so we may have 2 cars available.
Go Wes and Billy.
Possibly Larry. I had not heard about Bob McDonald's brother. That's hard.
Yeah, he's quite ill. Yeah, Larry Fruits is going to come in because actually right here on the table, there's a Lost Foam cradle set. I'm building 2 Geo bolt wings for him. He's going to pick them up at the contest.
Mhm.
Yeah, Jeff Truxler, he may even, he's talking about flying again because his neck surgery went so well
Really? That would be
Good.
terrific to have him back.
that he said that he can now play guitar better than he did before his car accident where that car hit him head on and messed up his back and
Yeah, he's a good player.
elbows.
He's a good player. We jammed one day at the Nats and in the evening out there at the campground with Billy and you were there, I think. Billy and
Yeah, it was at my cookout there.
yeah, Jeff Traxler and we all jammed there one night. It was fun.
Yeah.
And Billy comes in and Rick Campbell shows up and anybody else that wants to bring a guitar, we're gonna have a jam session, during the evening at the party at our contest. So, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
That's it.
He
I tell you what, since Steve is here, I even have a dark plan here to take my take apart Aries and put it in a box and send it to Las Vegas, baby. So
There we go.
All right.
that's it.
Yeah,
Fun
I mean-
late city, going to light my soul on fire.
Well, yeah, I
What
mean,
happens
Dennis,
in
you
Vegas.
saved all this money for 2 contests now you're gonna miss. You can just pick another 2 to go to.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
all that money went to the doctor probably.
Come to Vegas.
Doctors tend to do that, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
That's it. So
Hey,
no,
Tr-
I've been having other trouble. It's like I'm spending
Don, it was good speaking with
my
you
friends
today.
at Amazon. So yeah.
Hey, Charles, if you want to make my screen big, I'll show you what I've made up so far.
All right.
Charles is he back?
Oh, here I am. Yeah, I'm just eating right now. I'm hungry.
Ah,
Yeah,
There you
we can all pin you, Jim.
Hey, where were those batteries from? Steve,
Amazon.
were they RC lipos? Were they,
Yeah, they're just a regular 4-cell 2200 milliamp pack.
How many C?
20. You can get them in either 25 or 30. I took the 25.
Yeah, that's
Right,
all we
pick-
need.
so it doesn't say what it is?
Oh, the brand?
Yeah,
Can you see it?
Sipem?
Sypon.
Sycon.
SYPOM.
Okay.
Try them batteries from Denmark that he's making.
Okay. Are you gonna make me big, Charles?
Yeah.
We got you, big. All we see is your bench. Where are you at?
I'm behind the camera.
We're looking at your bench.
Well, it's all right. Look at the bench. It's what I want to show you.
Okay.
There ain't nothing on it.
You need to clean your bench.
Oh, that's clean compared to my bench.
Listen, you should have seen it a couple weeks ago. All right.
That is clean compared to a couple weeks
If you
ago.
make it big, I'll tell you about it.
You are big.
Oh, I don't look big. I don't seem.
Well, don't look at yourself. You're big on our end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
That's
big
awesome.
on YouTube.
Okay.
Not on my screen. My screen still has the gallery view. I've never seen a big picture yet.
Now we see you.
Yep.
I had about, this was all full of crap from my Suburban that I had purchased. I'm down to this little pile, some foam, some mallees. I got an umbrella to figure out where to go. By the back of it. So I don't have much to go on this one.
Hmm.
All
The bench looked better before you were in the picture.
I know that. Hey, I'm under the influence.
You're under the
One thing-
affluence of alcohol?
Yeah, something like that.
One thing about it is I don't feel so bad about my bench now.
Dude, my bench looks horrible. All right, let me tighten it up.
I see we see an airplane.
Low turn. I'm coming around. Okay.
What is it? It's kind of, looks pretty sharp. You can get some run.
All right. I've got under here. I found all the stuff. Okay. Hang on. I've got my Yashenko parts.
Yeah.
Those. He shipped me another set of landing gear, and I found those. So I pretty much found everything. And I cleaned up around this area in here. I got my thing out. And hang on a minute.
The bad part, Jim, is that now that you've taken care of everything, you won't be able to find nothing.
Oh no, I'm gonna find it.
You'll have to go through that's like, I can't find my multimeter, so I must have stuck it in one of them plastic deals with the covers. So now I'm gonna have to go through every single one of them in my house, find out where in the hell I put that multimeter.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man, we won't go into a pack of little wrenches I needed to change out a Super Tiger needle valve that I spent 4 days trying to find.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay, guys,
okay.
Okay.
you recognize this boy?
Yep, there he goes.
They just came.
All righty.
Good boy.
Ain't gonna let you pick him up.
Nope.
Not voluntarily.
Cats have staff, not.
Yeah. Okay.
All righty.
Okay.
So you have more show and tell for us, Jim?
No, I.
Okay, I'm gonna remove the pin. And let me see here. We'll go back to gallery view. All right.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. Has anyone ever taken apart a McCoy or a Testers?
Is that a 40 or a 35 or what is it?
This is the 40.
Intentionally?
Yes.
Years
It's
ago.
like, do you have to heat it up or something to get the cylinder? I don't want to mess, hurt anything.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes in those old, but you have to heat them up because the caster would get in there and it would actually lock the cylinder into the case, It would varnish it up so bad you couldn't get the liners out.
Oh, okay, because I'm going to transfer that cylinder and piston over into this case like they do, but I got to get it out of there.
Yeah,
But what I thought was crazy is that this is a Lightning 40, but it has a dome piston and a flat head. The other one has a flat piston and a domed head.
sounds like an averaging routine. Okay.
Well, yeah, I figured since they're machining the one and molded, I guess that other one was kind of a molded deal. That when they molded it, they made it, a round top. But when they machined it, it would be too hard to do it, so they just did the opposite. But
Yeah, I've been doing some reading about the Johnsons and I guess the same place that made the pistons for the Johnsons made McCoy pistons, and they both used that Cinster meonite for those. And it had to be done that way because you couldn't machine a piston to a dome like that.
Okay. But, you know, we'll see how it runs. I mean, this one here had such great compression, but they say that they just wear out fast. So I got that. I'm going to do that changeover that they say.
What engine wears out fast?
The McCoy.
No, it took about 2 flights.
We're all slow, huh?
Actually,
They're like a rubber band.
the 40s were the worst for longevity, but really the 35s and the 29s were better because they just had a smaller bore and they had a little more metal in the sleeve and they seemed more temperature stable and stuff like that. Steve, if you just take a hair dryer or Monaco heat gun or something like that, warm up the case with that, that should loosen up the caster enough to let you pull it out.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Yeah,
Tom,
I'm gonna give it a try. Gary Lutz, he has these old time airplanes and he has McCoys in them from the 50s, late 50s or something.
Mm-hmm.
But he said that his dad taught him that when they bought them, they pull the things apart and break the edge on the top of the piston, and then it wouldn't gall or whatever in the cylinder. It wouldn't wear it out by just breaking that edge. And shit, I seen him fly his. It's like their one flip starts. I mean, they fly great. And he goes, "There's never been nothing done to them." But he said if you didn't break that edge, it would gouge into the cylinder when it heated up.
So they didn't deburr the piston when they made them, I guess.
Yeah, well, Gary's one of my favorite people in the world, and I am so happy for his success with those 1950s McCoys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, oh, okay.
And this comes from, I love my McCoy 35 Redheads, all right? But the Sportsman before that and everything like that had not a very good reputation. And, and then, of course, the big block engines, the ring engines, they ran really nice. But the metallurgy was all wrong and it just wasn't friendly to them. So,
well, that's why, hopefully this thing is, heavier than crap and everything fits right in. So it'll be the good metallurgy in a light case, and we'll see how the case stands up, I guess.
Yeah.
Guys, let John have a chance. He wants to.
Let John talk.
I want to
Gotta
talk.
unmute your mic, John. Your mic is.
You gotta unmute your mic, John. There we go.
My first large airplane, 35 size airplane, was an old Sig Mustang, and I bought a McCoy 35 off my paper out money and put it on there. But fortunately, one of the guys I got to meet was Dick Williams, and he told me how to run the darn thing. And that thing was on that Mustang until it got crashed, and then it went on a Super Ringmaster till it got crashed, and then it went in my green box Nober, and I got that Nober in the spring of '58, built it, and I flew it till I went in the Navy in 1962, and I gave the airplane with the motor and everything to one of the kids in the club. And I don't know how long it flew after that. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is when they were treated right, they could last a long time. Now I've got a Tom Lay Lightning Bolt 40, and that thing heat treats the piston in those things. And that thing you can run a muffler on it and everything else, and it runs very strong. So McCoy's, they run good enough that actually I understand that George Aldrich tried to buy the tooling when Dexter's quit, and he wanted to go into production on it because he thought they were one of the best stunt engines of their day. unfortunately, they'd sold the tooling, and so they went away. But he went on to do his. You remember his McGas engines?
I heard of them.
Extremely strong running 50 style, as Denny calls them, engines.
Hey,
424
I'm
engines.
fixing to leave, and I want to say something to Tom.
Go right ahead.
Okay, Tom, I don't know where Phil Bailey is, but he's committed to two of the bikers. So I don't know if you heard from him or whatever. It's a pain in the ass.
Phil's in Georgia.
Yeah, I know where Phil is. He said he was going to try to get in tonight. But at any rate, as soon as I get them, I'm going to send those to you. And Denny, Trayan is also here. I don't see Trayan. And he's ready. He's got his final design, getting ready to do the prototype. So if you get or I get an order for those, we're just gonna send them straight to
Pick up the parts. It sounds like,
Trayan.
and send them to Tom too.
What?
Pick up the parts and send them along with your order.
Yeah,
Tom
got
was just
all-
saying he
they
can't get
got
the
all that.
parts for him.
I got all that figured out. But when you want a Trayan's take apart system, is new one. I don't care where it comes from. Just send it to me or Denny, and we will forward that order to Trayan. Okay, and then you'll order directly from Trayan.
How much are they?
I don't know. I think it's like 175 or 75 or something. I don't know what they are. I forget.
How about the tuts? How much are the tuts and the other part going to go for?
Tuts are $75. And I'm not sure about the Bicus.
Yeah.
You heard anything, Jim? From Howard? You have to find out from Howard how much the Bicus is.
Yeah.
What is a micus?
A Bicus.
Bicus.
What is that?
What is that?
I think it's it indicates the voltage and has LED indication for different statuses.
Yep. And it will let you know if you're anything other than 100% charged. Otherwise, the light comes on. And when the light comes on, it alerts your crew. And then it will also do a slow takeoff and a slow landing. But when you add the tut to it, the tut takes over a couple of things and adds a couple extra features. With like, you can actually make it do a loop, and at the bottom of the loop, it will actually shut the motor off and come in for a slow landing. And so whatever. But if somebody wants one, Howard will know what it is. I've already talked to him about it. So when I find that out, I'll do it. And then I'll have to work on my stuff. I got so many email addresses and stuff, it's ridiculous. So anyway, this was the best I could do tonight.
Hey, well, thanks.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Jim. Hey, have a good flying day tomorrow or a good event tomorrow.
Thank you.
Howard has got a lot of interesting electronic features in his airplanes to make sure he's got a fully charged battery on board. Now he's got a thing on the dashboard of his car that reminds him if he actually put his airplane in the car when he goes to the field.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, he's gonna have to upgrade it though, and let him know that he put the airplane and the batteries in the car.
Yeah.
What's happened on, is Marcel Legrand still there?
Yeah, matter of fact, Marcel Legrand said that he's making progress on the Pathfinder. Let me see here. Thank you, John, for that segue into the chat. Where was that at? where was that at? I don't know where it's at, but he said he's making progress. Oh, here he goes. Good evening, John. The PF, I assume it's Pathfinder, not Primary Force, is coming along nicely. I stopped to build a new model table, something I could walk around. And let me catch up with the rest of the comments because I haven't been talking about it. But Mark Lumen says, hey guys, watching tonight, not gonna log in, not great internet tonight. And then Greg Nielsen, he says, evening all from South Florida. And the last thing, the multimeter is on your workbench, LOL.
No,
So-
yeah, I looked at all 3 workbenches. It's not there.
Okay. All right. And I want to say thank you for Steve for coming in. I didn't get a chance to welcome you. Hey, Lynn just showed up and Mike Lonke showed up.
Cool.
So,
Hey, guys.
I guess you guys are waiting for Jim Smith to leave. Is that what it was or what? And then Howard.
Yeah,
So
Howard just showed up.
Howard just popped in. So you guys popped in after Jim left. Okay.
Okay.
Well, welcome, Howard, and welcome, Lynn. Welcome, Mike.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Welcome, Steve.
Hey, Howard, tell us about this this new thing you invented. Bob was talking about that fits on the dash of your car and lets you know if you've loaded your airplane before you head to the field.
You got Howard to laugh. That's pretty good.
I've forgotten to take it home from time to time, but
Well, yeah, I mean, for us old guys, I told them, though, you're going to have to upgrade that for airplane and batteries.
oh
'Cause
yeah,
I
don't
went,
think
I went to loaded everything up and left batteries to home.
Oh yeah. I do that all
And
the-
fuel
well,
and syringes and gloves.
Yeah.
hi, Bob.
Gloves. Did you say gloves, Lynn?
I said, and fuel and batteries and starting glove and
I was starting
Chicken
glove. Okay.
stick and lines.
Yeah. Then you
Crazy.
make sure to remember the batteries, and then you forget the damn handle and lines. And it's like, damn.
So, Lynn, have you done any flying? Has the weather been conducive or?
yeah, we've been doing lots of flying here. Yeah, it's been good.
deal.
The weather's been good and we've flown a lot and learned a lot.
Has it been hot?
It's been stinking hot.
Yeah, that's the way it is here. So
Yeah.
humid and hot.
But you know, at least it's reasonably calm most days, or at least for part of days, so you can get out there and get some serious flying done. I'm
What-
finding that,
What,
Go ahead.
And the one thing is you don't have to worry about mowing your lawn because the grass is all burning up. So
well, it's not so much. I mean, Brad was out there cutting the whole bean field again yesterday. I mean,
wow.
no, I guess it was today. He was gonna cut it after we flew today, and it needed it, so it's not burnt compared to most summers here. It's been pretty lush.
So when you're saying bean field, I mean, you've said this quite a bit. So I thought at first it was just a joke. So are you serious?
Oh yeah, it's dead serious. Basically what it is it's a farm field, and right adjacent to the circle, we have beans growing. So that's why it's called the bean field.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Do they ever grow corn? Do they ever change out crops?
Oh
and
yeah,
grow
they have
corn?
beans. They have, sometimes it's corn, sometimes it's wheat. Yeah, it just depends on what they grow next to it on different years, you know. Like right this year, we've got beans right adjacent to the flying circles, and then a little further out, it's corn.
Oh,
And in
okay.
the fall, they're cool beans.
I'm sorry? Yeah, in the fall, they're cool beans. Yeah, that's right.
Very good. So what plane did you fly, Lynn? Did you fly your which one did you fly?
Oh, I've been flying the Shark, the Profile Shark, the Chipmunk quite a bit, actually. The old Chipmunk, I've been really enjoying flying that. And sometimes I fly my beater combat airplane. And yeah, like I fly all of them. I fly the Spitfire sometimes, not quite as much. I mean, it just depends, you know.
Have you flown all your new planes? Have you flown them, Len?
They're all flown. Everything's been flown except the one I got from my buddy, that KA-10. And it's ready to go too, but I haven't flown it.
Oh, okay, cool.
But the Cardinal flies really, really good. Like it's outstanding. I'm really happy with it. And I've only got 2 flights on it. It's really, I'm tickled pink with it.
Have you tried that thing with the drag plates on the elevator?
I keep forgetting. I will definitely try it though, because I think it's a great idea. And I bet you it does work phenomenally. I will try to hopefully get that done in the next week.
I was talking to Frank McMillan, and he said he told Gaylord Elling down there in Texas about it.
Right.
And Gaylord put him on. Frank pulled up to the circle, and he said he put 30 points on his pattern immediately.
Wow.
And I believe it.
Yeah, I think it has great promise. And I mean, if you're telling me it works, I got a pretty good suspicion it works well.
Yeah, it does.
Exactly. That's awesome. Yeah,
Now,
I
when
just
you have
got it.
when you have those edge plates on, Bob, do you have to retrim the plane because now it has more authority, and do you have to like do any adjustment to it, or?
No, I just went out and it just flew better. I mean, it just turned better, it locked better, it tracked better, it did everything better. I didn't have to change anything.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing that we're all trying to find is a plane that turns really well and locks. You want a plane that locks. If it doesn't lock, you feel like you're wasting your time out there because all you're doing is fighting all the time with something that won't do what you need it to do. Exactly. Because we've all sort of got to a pinnacle of the way we fly, and it's like we're looking for that small little bit that's going to make it better.
Yeah. And this is not a small thing. This is a big thing.
Awesome.
Hey, Bob.
Yo.
What was the height of the actual deflection? Was it 5/16 on the back?
No, it's only 1/8 of an inch above the elevator and it is 1/8 of an inch below.
1/8 above and 8 below, counting your little mounting plates, top and bottom.
Yeah,
right?
so it was,
So it's quarter inch.
Yeah, it's not even that much. Those plates are only 1/64 of an inch thick.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you're 1/8 above and 1/8 below, plus you have the thickness of the. Say again?
Well, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, you're talking total.
Yeah, the width of the strip on the back.
Well, the width of the strip is 7 inches on mine.
No, he means the thickness of it.
Yeah, I meant the thickness. Yeah, I meant the other way.
The thickness of that strip is 1/8 of an inch. That's what I had available. And I just glued them together and put them on. The chances that I chance blueprinted this thing and got it perfect is about 1 in a million. And I'm sure that there's more to be gained by experimenting with the configurations. And some people like Howard will tell you a little diagonal piece in the front of it. A lot of them are using. I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of experimentation being done to find the optimum shape and size for each airplane, and this is going to be something that's going to be an ongoing thing. But the fact of the matter is, just by throwing them on the airplane, like throwing mud against the wall and having it work so well, shows me that there's a tremendous amount of potential there.
For sure.
Yeah. Hey, Bob, I'm sorry, but I think I'm still confused here. You used 1/8 inch material, right?
I used 1/8 inch material on the plate that actually glues to the back of it, the vertical plate back.
Okay. How tall is that plate? That's my question.
Well, it's an 1/8 of an inch above the 1/64 plate that it's mounted to the back of, and 1/8 of an inch below.
Okay, so then your elevator, your stab thickness is in the middle.
Yeah, it determines how high you want to make it. Yeah.
Got you. That's what I needed. So it is 1/8 inch material, and then it's 1/8 inch above and 1/8 inch below.
Right. Exactly.
Got it.
And that's just what I had. That's just what I had in the scrap, but I just pulled it down and made them and stuck them on and said, "I'll go try this." And like I said last time we talked about this, anybody tries to take them off, I'll break their arms.
Won't be me.
So then, would you even, if you're going to put them on an airplane, would you even bother to sand the elevators into that V, or would you just leave them flat?
Well, that's another thing we need to experiment with. I mean, again, there's so many variables and options we can do different configurations we can try. The chances that we hit the optimum on any of this stuff is 1 in a billion. And there's still things we never tried. We just got airplanes that flew pretty good for the last 60 years, and we just stayed with basically the same configurations. And now a lot of people like Howard and Paul and Igor are trying new things, and a lot of them are working very well. And it shows us that there's a lot more things to try than any of us have thought to try.
A lot more untapped potential.
How about it?
So what do you figure design flaw it is fixing?
What's that?
What design flaw is this fixing?
I don't think it's a design flaw. I think it's an aerodynamic enhancement. Taking the other tack. It's not a flaw. It's like it just makes it better. Airplanes flew pretty good, up to this point, but this makes them just a little better. Now, Howard could probably tell you aerodynamically more about why it's working than I can. I'm more of a a little bit is good, a whole lot more is better, and too much is perfect kind of guy. And I just throw them on and it worked. And but I'm definitely going to try different ones. Now, Dean Papa suggested, and he's quite a aerodynamicist guy too. He said, try several different ones. He said, try shorter ones and put 2 or 3 per elevator and leave about a ½ an inch space between them. So you have a little venturi between them and create even more drag and see what that does. So there's a whole lot of experiments yet to try. I just don't want to take these off my airplane until the contest season is over because it's flying so well.
Yeah.
Wow.
If I take them off and I screw it up, I'm going to be real mad at myself.
So if this is creating drag or whatever, how much battery power is it using? Have you figured that out?
Well, in my case, with the ones I put on, which may be too big, I don't know. But I went from 30% left over nominally at the end of the flight to 27%. So it's not
bad.
It's not bad.
No.
You guys, I have a couple of comments in the chat box. Let me just interrupt real quick. Alexander III says, good evening, Charles, Big John, and all that are here. Greetings from Scotland. Thank you, Alexander III. And then Marcel Legrand asked John, what do you think of my new bench? It's finished now. Did you see his bench?
How long did you take to build that? That looks like it'd take weeks. That's a neat bench.
Well, there you go. Did you give a picture of it, John? You can share with us so we can see what you're talking about.
I let me see if I can. It's in the email. Hold on a minute.
All right. And hey, Steve, are you still with us? Steve?
Yeah, I'm here.
I mean, Steve McBride. Okay. I know you worked hard all day. I figured you might be doozing off, but I was just curious.
No, I'm still here.
Now, did you understand what we were talking about with these fences that Bob Hunt? Did you see that one show where he showed it?
No, I didn't see it.
Yeah, so it's like a fence at the back end of the elevator, and it's like 1/8 of an inch above and below the elevator, and it captures creates a little additional drag, and Bob Hunt says it makes it turn better and track better.
Howard,
Is it on the elevator or the staff?
Elevator.
Howard is here. Maybe Howard can enlighten us as to why it's working the way it's working.
No, he can't. But
Okay.
other than I don't think it's because it makes drag.
Okay. But it turbulates the air then?
No, I don't think so.
What do you think it's doing?
I don't know. It makes the stabilizer act like it's bigger, I suppose. But I'm trying to think of his name. It's hard.
You need a light on your dashboard to remember that name.
Yeah, Mark Drella.
So is this just adding more to your staff so you get more turn?
What's that?
Is this just adding more to your staff, adding more to the elevator so you get more turn?
It's like the stabilizer got bigger without weighing more.
whatever it is, it sure works. I'm more of a who cares why it works
Yeah.
kind of as I'm more of a hey, it works, you know.
Yeah, I tried it, didn't work, but I better try it again.
Try a bigger one.
Yeah, a bigger one. I just had a wimpy one.
Hey, Charles,
Yeah.
you've got screen sharing disabled.
Let me fix that.
Hey, Dennis, on the spinners you're using, I weighed this one and it weighs 25 grams or 8.5 ounces. I don't know what the ones you're using weighs, but
That's a heavy spinner. 8.5 ounces?
I mean, 0.85 ounces
That's better. Okay, that's better.
or 25 grams.
Oh, that's pretty.
Nice.
That's pretty.
That bench.
Holy Mackinac.
You guys see a bench?
That's
I
awesome.
can.
All
I
right.
can.
All right, let me see if I can get to it.
Yeah, well, the price of lumber, that's like a $10,000 bench.
I'll tell you, I'd like to know how long it took him to build that, because it'd take me a month.
Double up as a coffin too.
That is nice looking.
Okay, and that's a nice bench.
I got a buddy who's a cabinet maker, and it's really if you do that kind of stuff, it's hard to believe how fast they can put something like that together.
Oh wow, another view, nice.
Yeah,
It's
that's
on
a
rollers
nice
too,
bench.
see there?
Yeah, I see that.
Oh hell, look how big it is. That's a $20,000 bench.
He's got room for a big old
Yes.
vise
Big
here.
real vice.
He has a metal vise and he has a wood vise. There's two vices there.
Yeah,
That's a nice.
I don't know what this is right here, but it looks interesting.
It looks like a computer tower. Maybe it's a computerized bench.
But here he's got all his plastic boxes lined up, and this picture back here, it's got a little shelf here with some plastic boxes slid in,
That's
and
pretty cool.
that's on the other side.
Wow.
Really
That
looks
is-
nice.
Well, I'm
That is
jealous. I'm
Damn
jealous.
awesome. That is damn awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hell of a workbench.
Yeah, like to see the plans for that one. Okay, I'll go back. Everybody seen enough?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
That's
you.
a gorgeous
Thanks,
bench.
John.
And that'll make it so much nicer to sweep under. That's like my bench
Oh,
that
yeah,
has
you just
a little
move it.
gap, and I'm sitting there trying to get the balsa wood and dust and stuff out from under it.
Well, that one, if it's on rollers, it's even better because that way you can just move it over and pull all the crap out. Works.
Yeah, that's what I said. On wheels like that, hell. I'm thinking now that's what I need to do with that smaller workbench of mine is put some wheels on it. Then I can move
Oh,
it
yeah.
out, sweep under it.
Definitely.
Great idea.
Greg Nielsen says, I would have the room for a bench like that.
I wish I had the room for it too.
I think he said I would have to have the room for that bench. I'm sorry. Yeah, I understand that, Greg. Yes, sometimes we get so much stuff we don't have room for
Anything else?
our hobbies. Yeah.
Yeah, we all have to make decisions on what we want to keep and what we
Now,
don't
now
want
Bobby's
to keep in
showing
this
his
life.
bench too. That's pretty nice too.
That's Robbie's
Bob's
bench.
bench.
This is Robbie's shop here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Got,
Oh, that is nice.
Nice.
it's a big bench. It's 4x8. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, it's good. I'm jealous. He's got a better bench than I have.
Very, very nice.
It's a contest. Who's got the best hobby room?
Yeah. I
I'm
know
losing.
I don't.
Well, I've been on a tour of Howard's, and I've been on a tour of Bobby's, and those two are probably the front runners right now.
I bet you Howard's got me beat.
I think he's got more room.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first floor of the house, it looks like, when he's in there. How many
It's
square feet
it's a
is your?
separate building.
Oh, it's a separate building. I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit, that thing's big. It looks like
Robbie's
it's the
been-
first floor of a house.
So how big is it, Howard? How big is the room?
Oh, I don't know. How big is the shop?
1,700 square feet.
Wow.
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 It's bigger than my
Bigger
house.
than my house.
Did you say 7,000? Is that what you said?
1,700.
1,700 square feet, she said.
Good grief.
That's
Does that
pretty
include
big.
the upstairs?
No.
No, that's just downstairs.
That's nice.
That's just downstairs.
Well, one thing about it, Howard, is that when you're kicked out of the real house, that's a hell of a nice dog house to stay in while you're in it.
But that's a view of Mount Rainier.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. There you go. Get your ass out of here, Howard. Go look at Mount Rainier.
It's
Upstairs.
it's gone now.
That's awesome. Wow.
Well, I think Steve McBride, you've seen Warren Walker's shop, right?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
That's a nice shop.
that's a nice shop. Yeah, it's got multi rooms to it.
Yeah, he has a
Cool.
paint booth. I mean,
He's got a nice shop going on over there.
nice shop.
I like the barbecue hat on.
Yeah, and
Yeah, there's better food there than my shop.
Oh,
Yeah.
that stainless steel work he did outside. That's incredible.
Yeah.
yeah,
Warren Walker's shop, he's got a nice shop going on over there. He's got that nice spray booth in there.
Mike's got his hand up.
go ahead, Mike.
I just wanted to ask Howard if you got that Spectre line I sent him.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Do you have any test results for us yet to tell us how awesome it is or how crappy it is?
Not yet.
Okay. Because it'll be one or the other. You're going to say this stuff is great or it's garbage. So I'm
We'll see. Yeah.
hanging on a thread here, man.
Just gotta learn how to tie a knot in it.
You gonna make up some lines, are you, Howard?
He's already
Well,
got 'em.
I'm gonna see how stretchy that money line is.
Aren't you
Dick
supposed to
Imhoff,
first?
he pre-stretches them, and I can find out for you what. I think he takes it beyond, like if there's 70 pounds, he does it. But once he pre-stretches it, then it does actually, I don't know, wind it tight or something. Then he takes and makes them into the length he wants. But yeah, he pre-stretches the line first, and he said that makes a big difference in how it reacts in the airplane.
Okay.
But he said he'll never go back to steel lines again.
Wow.
Hey, Len.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I'm still flying on my original set that I made a year and a half ago. And I fly all my beater airplanes on them. And I've flown every size on them from 35s to 46s to fast planes, slow planes, light planes, heavy planes. It's very consistent. I like it. I really like it. And I haven't even got good stuff. The stuff I've got is 100-pound test and it's pretty thick. But I've grown to really like it and respect it. I think it's good stuff. I want to get some better line though. I want to get some of the 65-pound test, and I think it's going to even be better.
And make sure you buy the Max Quattro version because it's 25% thinner than the original.
Okay, so Max Quattro.
Quattro, yeah.
Yeah, that 100-pound you have is original, and
Yeah,
it probably measures 18 because that's what it had to be for combat, 18 thousandths. It still had
Okay.
the same. So you can buy 100-pound Max Quattro, and it's 25% thinner. So think about that. That's going to put you down even
So-
further on line diameter. But if you go down to 65-pound, that probably mics out around 14 thousandths.
that'll be phenomenal.
And if you get the Max Quattro, it's probably going to be, around 11.
Okay. Wow.
Because I do know that the 40 pound is 12 thousandths. That's why we can use the 40 in half A combat because it's equivalent to 12 thousandths braided.
Okay. Wow. That's
So you're going to be, if you're in the 50, 60, you're going to be somewhere between 13 and 15 on the line diameter, I think.
So a 65-pound test, would that be safe to fly, say, a 60 size stunter on?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do the 65. I think I'd try to find out like what the 80-pound max quattro.
Well, they make 80-pound, do they?
Or
Okay,
they make it in 10-pound increments, everything from 10 to 150, I think. It's great. Yeah, they've got all different sizes of it.
Okay.
But I think if you got into the 80-pound, you'd still be around 15,000s with the max quattro.
That'd be
But then
pretty
you
good stuff.
got a bigger margin of safety, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
You may, hey, Len, with the weight of your airplanes, you may have to go to a 150-pound test.
Oh, gee, man.
Keep going.
That's not nice, man.
Keep going, Steve. Just keep going.
And a beat down coming in the future.
I think what'll end up happening though is the size pound test line that you're going to use for an airplane is going to change.
Yeah.
From what the standard is and what people are used to. Like I'm saying, I think 100-pound max quattro is probably more. It's probably overkill for a 60 size stunt plane.
Yeah,
That's
I
why
would fly my 90 ship on the 100-pound right now. I'd take it out and fly it with
Right.
that with no trouble.
I think you could get down to 80, but when you talk about, 60-pound
Probably not for
nylon line, there's just something in my head that says I don't know if I do that. But even if you go up in the rating, it's not going to be thicker and more draggy. You're still gaining over steel.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, like at the NAS, when you do the pull test, if you got a 60-ounce airplane, how much are you pulling? How much weight? 10 times?
10 times, I think.
10 times, yeah.
Okay, so that would be, I don't have my calculator with me to see what that would be in pounds.
600 ounces.
Yeah, I know it'd be 600 ounces, but how many pounds is that?
You said 80 ounces?
32 ounces to a pound.
600 ounces?
I get 37.5.
8.35.
37?
21.64 pounds, is that right?
No, it'd be closer to 38 pounds.
Okay, so if it's 38 pounds and you got two 65-pound lines, it definitely seems like that would pass the pull test.
600 divided by 16, I get 37.5.
Yeah.
Okay.
What I'm saying
is that the new rules is you just got to pass the pull test.
So 40 pounds. So yeah,
You got
65
lines.
pounds.
So
You got two
so
lines to spread that weight out over.
You're not
too.
required to use steel lines anymore?
If it
When the new
passes.
rule- when the new rule passes, you don't have to, there's going to be some new rules, and one of them will be the allowance of that what do they call that wire? You don't even know what they call it.
Spectrum.
And there's going to be new pull test, initial vote passed. We're going to have a 10G pull test, no matter what kind of motor you have or what kind of lines or anything. You pass the 10G pull.
So, 65-pound test line, double that,
130.
130 pounds. I mean, holy cow.
I get what you're saying, Steve, but having had 65-pound max quattro in my hand, your brain can't get around the fact of how thin it is. You look at that in your hand and you're like, I don't know if I'll put that on a 60 size pipe ship. You know what I mean? Because it's so thin.
That's unreal.
Yeah, I think that there's kind of a false economy somewhere it kicks in too. It's like I think the real payoff for the synthetic line is that it's lighter rather than less draggy. We just don't go. I don't think it's 60 miles an hour. I don't think line drag is terribly important. I think that line weight comes into play more than line drag does. And I think I would expect to, in my case, I'm looking at probably 80-pound line that I would probably standardize on, and I'd fly anything but and maybe some 40-pound line for like ringmaster class or something like that. Yeah, maybe 60 pounds. But,
I agree with Denny. I flew Tommy Hampshire's Kingfisher on, and it was the line weight. When you turn a corner, the lines keep going in the direction they were going, and they have an inertial thing, and it tends to make the airplane roll a little bit. His airplane didn't roll at all. I mean, the airplane, it was the cleanest flying thing. So I think you're right, Danny. I think it's more of a weight thing, although drag is also an issue, but I think the weight thing is a bigger factor here.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd flown we got the Strega we were using for setting up the power systems for Brodak, and it was right at 80 ounces, which meant it was technically, I could fly in 018 lines, and if I ran into a heavy scale, it was illegal. All right. So we flew it on it, put it on a set of 021s, and I was frankly surprised we didn't really have to retrim it at all. And that 021s feel like like bridge cables in your hands.
Anchor chain.
And it just, the 3000 is bigger than the 018. It just didn't make that big a difference in how the airplane flew. And so I'm not losing a lot of sleep over the diameter. I like the Quattro, especially in the 100-pound test and everything like that. But I'm not really losing. I'm more excited to get the lighter weight, and they're really, really slippery. I really like that. And that's what I'm hoping to get out of flying the synthetic line. I think.
I think it's going to be more line stretch on the field that you want for, like 40-pound test is going to be strong enough, but does it stretch some, to where.
Well, that's the other thing too.
80 pounds won't stretch as much, so it's going to be more of a feel than it is what's safe to fly the airplane.
Yeah, I think that I don't think, from what I've read, the tests that Phil Cartier published and stuff like it, Phil might have been Tom Hampshire. They were reporting on the stretch of lines that they had measured and stuff, and it didn't seem like stretch was going to be an issue. But again, if you go a little oversized, the stretch is going to be even less of an issue than if you go right size or
Actually, Dennis, you referenced Hampshire and Phil Cartier's little paper on that. I believe I read in there that they said the stretch was comparable to 018 braided. It didn't stretch any more or any less than 018.
That's awesome. That's outstanding.
We tried some real small stuff, the 40-pound or whatever, and Samantha flew it and Dick flew it, and they said that they thought the lines were stretching. But I don't know if that's in their head and we end up going back to the thicker stuff. But, I really don't know. But then now Dick is starting to pre-stretch everything. And I think that he puts like 100-pound weight on there. It's like a barbell thing he's got. And he puts a line on there and stretches, really stretches it. And then it'll hold a lot more weight than 65 pounds. He tried to break it, and he said, hell, he didn't have enough weights to break the line.
That's crazy.
I did read some test data was published at a fishing site, actually, and it seemed as a generality, the 80-pound line always tested over 80 pounds, and 100-pound line tested at about 100 pounds. Some of the 80, I was even wondering from some of the results, some of the brands, the 80-pound and 100-pound tested within experimental error of each other. It's like they were marketing the 80 just like the 100 because it was there wasn't enough difference to matter. So,
and I wonder,
is probably a pretty good, pretty safe thing for most of the big stuff.
I'm wondering if the breaking of it is just a pull tension, or if it's a quick, a quick break, when you hit it, fast or whatever. There's a difference in that.
A shock.
A shock, yeah. If it's a shock deal, or if it's a, where you can pull, because a lot of stuff will break under shock a lot more than it will on a constant pull.
Well, I know from what I've heard just tonight, I'm gonna try the 80-pound test and see where that gets me. I'm gonna put that and I'm gonna put it on the big ships and see what it does. I'm
Just
excited.
buy the Max Quattro though. Don't get
Yeah,
the
Max Quattro, 80-pound test. That's what
Yeah.
I'm gonna buy.
And it's Quattro with a C, not a Q. I know that's weird, but
Okay.
Oh, it's a C, not a Q. Okay.
yeah, it's a C, not a Q.
And
I
you
mean, it's,
Yeah,
power- it's the same brand. It's still Power Pro brand, so you know you'll find it on there. Whoever sells it will sell both. You'll see it.
I was talking to Dick this weekend. He said everybody in Kalamazoo is now flying on spider wire. They all retired all their metal lines.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Not spider. Is it spider wire they're using, or is it?
Or
yeah,
Spectra, right?
gotcha.
That's-
Spectra.
That's
Spectrum,
a distinction because those are both trademark names.
Yeah,
of
trademark Spectrum.
similar materials, but Spider Wire is Dyneema, which is a different manufacturing process than Spectra, and
Yeah,
Dyneema is, I believe, it's a European trademark and a European company.
Yeah, I call everything spider wire, but yeah, it's everybody's on the Spectrum lines here in Kalamazoo.
Okay.
Well, I predict a lot of people are going to try them, but I think a lot of people don't have the benefit of this discussions that we've had here, talking about the differences between Dyneema and Spectra, and like the original Power Pro being thicker than the Max Quattro Power Pro. And I think guys are going to probably put too big of lines on their airplanes, and then they're going to complain that they're draggy.
Yeah.
And then you'll have a sect of people that know to put smaller diameter line, and they won't be draggy. You know, I don't know. I see this going over. Half the guys are probably going to love them, and the other half are going to say this is the worst thing we've ever put on a model airplane because they don't put the time in to get to the right formula.
And they gotta learn how to tie the knot.
And you got to learn how to tie the knot.
Yeah, Nick's making them all for them down there, but he said that everyone has noticed that line whip. It just goes away, you know, from the lines, you know, messing with the airplane, especially the smaller, lighter stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he said that they really noticed on 35 size and stuff like that it's so much better that.
Well, if it comes into fruition, the stunt guys are only 15 years behind the combat guys. So
Yeah.
This is it.
You guys,
This is
let me
not, you're
comment.
tying around to it, or do you wrap these the same way as a steel line?
Oh.
No.
no, it's a different termination, Stephen, and we can talk about it. I think Charles wants to wrap up the live stream. So
Yeah, I have a few more chats I want to catch up on. Let me see here. Gerald Wimmer. Hey, Gerald. He says, hello, everyone. On the Spectra line, we have enjoyed flying all our models with it. Just feels so much better all around. Used 65-pound on some big, fast models with less breakage than 18,000 stainless steel. Now, Philip Bailey, he's saying, got in late. Hope to see everyone Monday night. Want to know more about these lines. Will be nice not to worry about kinks. Philip Bailey, did I send you Mike Millard's address? You can type in, let me know. I thought I did. And then Gerald Wimmer says our oldest 65-pound Max Quattro is now 3 years old and has faded into clear, but still continues to pass pull tests.
there you go.
But cleans off with detergent. We use 80-pound with really large models. And then Gerald Wimmer says, don't use Power Pro hollow core braided, too draggy. And then Gerald, he generously gave us $10.
10,000.
Damn.
Sparky, I don't want to wake you up out of this.
Everybody gets a plane ticket to Vegas now. Woohoo!
Yes.
$10.
Hey,
Thank you very much.
good job. Good job.
Gerald.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gerald. Anyways, hey, we've had a good night tonight. We have 22 likes. We've had as many as at the height of the show. I think we've had as many as It's like 26 viewers. I know it's going to get a lot of replays like always. So make sure you hit the like button. Consider subscribing. Consider joining our YouTube channel. I think we're all caught up. We're not going anywhere. We're just going to end the stream and we call it the after party. Now, if you're interested in coming in here, we do this every Monday and Friday night. You must register with stunthangar.com/SMF with your real first and last name with a space between those two and a real valid email address. And Sparky, the proprietor of this, he will approve you and then you can come in where I post the link to get in here. So we'll be back Monday. Thanks for watching and we will see you then. I'm going to end the stream now, but we're going to continue.
I'm going to hang it up. Have a good night, guys.
Coming in and we're going to end the stream.